we are back with another webinar of Archicad. So today's webinar will be of ramp. So we are going to make a custom ramp in Archicad. So many of our users face problem while making ramp because there is no such tool called ramp in Archicad. Hence, we will be making the ramp by existing design tools and classify it as a ramp. My name is Sandeep and I'm going to present this webinar today. So I'm senior technical lead at Dimension Plus, and Dimension Plus is the distributors for softwares like Archicad, which is the first BIM software. Then we have Twinmotion, which is a real-time rendering software. Then we have Solibri, which is a model checking software used for quality checking and quality analysis. Then we have BIM Cloud, which is a teamwork platform for Archicad, followed by BIMX, which is a client presentation software through which we can show the clients the 3D model and the drawings that has been made in Archicad. Then we have Plannerly as well. So Plannerly is a project management tool, and we have EPTAR, which is a reinforcement tool. Apart from selling these softwares, we also provide BIM implementation. So who wants to switch from 2D CAD to BIM or any other BIM software to Archicad, we provide BIM implementation as well. As well as we have a training portal, a separate training portal. So the softwares that I mentioned right now. So if you want to learn the softwares, you can visit our training portal, Discover BIM, and there are courses related to these softwares. So you can just explore that courses. And then we have support portal as well. So who are using Archicad and they are stuck at some point, they can contact us through our support portal and we give resolution for the same. Okay. So today's webinar is about RAM. So let's start making the RAM in Archicad. So we will be using two tools. I will be showing two tools from which you can make a ramp in Archicad. So I made this partial model that has yet to be completed. And in this model, I want a ramp as well. So there are two types of ramp that I will be showing you. So one ramp will be over here that will be from ground level to basement, and the other ramp that I'm going to show you will be connecting these floors. Okay, so we will be using two different tools for these two different types of ramp. Okay, so let's make that ramp. So I'm just going to ground floor. So I'm using the mesh tool for now. So I'll use the mesh tool. I will select the filled portion. The building material should be reinforced concrete. And I will untake all the overhead surface if it is on. Okay. And I will click OK. And I will just have a magic wand on this. So I'm at the ground level. We'll just press the space button to have a magic wand and click it. Okay, so my ramp portion has been laid, and here there are some unnecessary nodes that I will eliminate. Okay, so now let's go to 3D and check it. Sorry, it will be on this side. Okay, so this is the ramp. I will switch it to the basement. So yes. Okay. So my ramp will go from here up till here. Okay, so I want a proper slope and I want a proper transitional slope in this. So for adding the transition to the slopes, what I will do is go to the floor plan and I will add some nodes over here. Okay, so I'm just eliminating this node. Okay, so this ramp is, I guess, a little bit curved one. So I will add a node over here to just make it proper. As per the wall. Fine. So now for adding the transition, I will be adding the nodes over here. So I want a node at this point. So I'll just click and the first option, insert a node. And same I will be needing at the other end. Okay. Now I want a transition somewhere over here. So I'm just picking this point and adding a node, and same over here as well. Okay, so these are the two nodes that I have added, and I think that's enough over here. And now I will go to 3D. Okay, so I will just hide this portion for now. I don't want this wall as well. Height selection. And this, I want the thickness to be a little bit less, like 100 is okay. Okay, so now I will just transit the RAM. So for elevating the points, so in mesh, there is a certain option in pet palette that is the elevate mesh points. So this will be useful for us. So I'm just elevated to 4,000, which is 4 meter, which is the height of ground level. Sorry. Okay, so the first part of transition is done. So here we have put the nodes. That's why it is restricting up till here. If we haven't put that nodes, the slope will directly would have touched up till here, and we don't want that because we want to have the entrance over here. Okay, so we'll just slowly transition this. So if you have a measurements, you can type the measurements over here, the elevation, but I'm just defining it graphically to show you how it can be done. So you can put up the measurements if you have. Then over here as well, I need a little transition, like up till 600, and this one as well as 600. Okay, so this is a smooth transition that is going. And yes, so like this, it will, the car can go over here. So it's creating a little super elevation as well over here. So if you want to add one more node, you can add it and you can just create a little super elevation over here. I can use this node as well if you for super elevation 200, and this should be around 100. Okay, so here you can see a proper ramp has been created over here. Okay, so the transitioning is also smooth. So accordingly, you can make a transition by putting the nodes in mesh, and your ramp will get ready. So now here you can see there are triangulations in this ramp. So to eliminate that, we will need to go into the settings, and over here you click on all ridges smooth. So by default, it will be on all ridges sharp. You just have to click on all ridges smooth. Okay, and click on OK. So you will get a perfect ramp structure. Okay. So the triangulation will be also there in floor plan. Okay, so for eliminating that triangulation, you will have to go into the floor plan and section, and then here you go to ridge selection, show all ridges. Instead of show all ridges, you select show user defined ridges. Okay, so click on this show user defined ridges, click OK, and your ramp is done. So this is one method to create a ramp by mesh. So if you want a filled kind of ramp, you use this mesh option. Now we are going to see another ramp that is being done on this side. First, let me click on show all. So yeah, this is the ramp that we have made. And on this side, we are making a ramp that will be going on every floor. Okay. So for that, we will be using Profile Manager. We will create a ramp profile in Profile Manager. Okay. So let's go to Profile Manager from Options, Complex Profiles, Profile Manager, and let's create a new ramp profile. So I click New over here and here ramp. Okay, so I click OK, and this is the existing thing. I will delete this one, and I will select use with wall only because our wall has that flexibility to have curve and all. So I'm using it with wall. You can use it with BIM as well, but for me, I guess wall is much better for this. So I will start making the profile for ramp. I will select the fill, and in fill also I need reinforced concrete. And now I will just make a ramp. So first I will be making this ramp railing. So it should be around 70 or maybe 100. If you want to add a curb, you can add a curb as well. But I am showing this with a simple thing, simple profile. So this should be 3500, should be 100. And with the help of guideline, predictive lines, I'm just completing this. Okay, so I will just switch this node 40 point upper and this node as well. And just a little bit of super elevation also I will give 40. Okay. And I will save this profile with wall. Okay. So this profile has been saved with wall. Now I will go to basement. Sorry, I will have to go to the ground level. And from ground level, my ramp will start. So I'm selecting wall, and in wall, I will select the profile option. Okay. And from here, I will start making the ramp. So with the help of wall, I can make a curve profile as well. So with the help of pet palette in wall, I'm making this curve. So I just try to make some another curve like this. Okay, fine. Yeah, so let's see this in 3D. So I just made a random curve over here. So this should be ramp. Just a sec. I took some another profile over here. I will just make again. So ramp and make sure this end also matches the slab. Okay, so we'll just shift it like this. Okay, so there is proper opening over here. And yes, this ramp has been made on the ground floor. Okay, so I want this ramp to go to the first floor, second floor, and all those floors. So what I will do is we'll have to convert this profile into morph. So I'm just selecting this option. So right click and convert selection to morph. So once I click this, so this will be a morph. Okay. So I will have to do a suspend group over here. And from here, I will have to just hide this slab once again. This column as well to model it properly in 3D. Okay, so I will switch to white cursor and select this. So by selecting white cursor and this second option, I'm just partially selecting this portion. I don't want to select the whole morph. I just want to have the selection of this portion. Okay, so I will just drag this with this drag option up to the first floor. So just this, so one of the transition has been done. Now so still the portion, this portion is in on the ground floor. So I will have to transit that as well. So for this, I will just hide this first, back switching to the black cursor and again switching to white cursor, selecting this portion. So I'm just doing it graphically, but if you have the measurements, you can do it with the measurements. So I'm just lifting it up by the Z axis and somewhat around 1000. I want to lift it up. Or else I will lift it up a little bit more. Okay, so I will click on show all again. And same I will do it with this portion as well. Mm, so this thing you will need to do in 3D because it's a morph. One thousand five. Yes. Just a second. There is some error in this because we have selected this faces as well. So I'll have to reselect once again with this and make sure that the other things are not selected. So anyways, I will just do it with mouse cursor. So Okay. So yes. So this is the transition done this. Okay. So I will just suspend the group and yeah. So this is the RAM that has been made. Okay. So this ramp you can elevate it in different floors. So I will just click on this and in pet palette we have the multiply option. So in multiply option we have the option to elevate. So I'm selecting elevate, increment and spread according to the elevations the ramps has been made. Okay, so these are the ramps that we have made by mesh tool and profile manager and little bit of morph. Okay, so basically morph only. So I'm selecting this. So now the important thing. So once we have made a ROM more, sorry, made the RAM, then we have to classify it as a RAM because whenever you are exporting as an IFC, it won't come as RAM. It will come as the element that has been used. Okay, so I'm selecting all this RAM and this is the morph. And here I will have to classify it as a RAM. So I'm selecting, and in Archicad, you get a flexibility to classify any element into any other element. Okay, so I'm classifying this as a RAM. Okay, as well as the RAM that we have made over here. So this is the mesh, and here I classify it as a RAM. So for classifying it into the RAM, you have to go to elements, construction element, and RAM. Okay, and now I will click show all. So these are the project that we have made. Now let's check if it has been classified into RAM or not. So I will just export this into IFC and check it with another BIM software. Uh, I will save it as IFC entire project ramp in Archicad and I will save it on desktop. Okay, so I will just copy this into some another. So I will just open it in Solibri. So I'll just have to shift it in Solibri's sample models. Ramp in Archicad. Okay, so I will just open Solibri now. So I need to use Solibri right now because the other BIM software are not compatible with Mac. So I'll just open Solibri and it will be fair to open in Solibri, which is a model checking software. Okay, so I'll just open that model that is ramp in Archicad. So Solibri is also a model checking software through which you can check all the elements are properly classified or not. If there is any clash detection or any issues, you can just generate it in Solibri. Okay, so it's an architectural model, and yes, so this is the model that we have made. This is the ramp with that we have made with the mesh, and here you can see. So it's an IFC entity. It is considered as IFC RAM. Okay, so we classified in Archicad that we want this to be a RAM. Hence, it is classified into RAM. So whenever you are exporting this model, you just have to classify it as a RAM. So this as well has considered into the RAM. Okay, so in such case, you can just classify into, you can make RAM from any other tool and classify it as a RAM. Okay, so I guess we are good to go.
And end today's webinar. And you can just follow us on Instagram and YouTube for more updates regarding the webinar. Okay. So see you in the next webinar. Thank you.